Have you ever wondered what really happened on the 4th of July? What exactly is the Declaration of Independence, and what events led up to its creation? Well, in this video, we'll be talking about just that. Now, to answer these questions, we need to go back to the early 1770s. By this point, many colonists had become more and more convinced that the British Parliament planned to take away their freedom. In early 1775, Great Britain, led by King George III, began to prepare for war. And the first battle between Britain and the colonies took place in Massachusetts on April 19, 1775. In August of that same year, King George declared the colonists as, quote, in a state of open and avowed rebellion, end quote. For the first time, colonists began to seriously consider the previously unthinkable idea of becoming independent from the British Crown. On June 7, 1776, Richard Henry Lee introduced to the Continental Congress, which had become the governing body of the colonies, a resolution which stated, quote, that these united colonies are, and of one right ought to be, free and independent states, end quote. On June 11th, Congress appointed a Committee of Five to create a written document that would declare the United States as its own country, independent from the British Empire and every other earthly nation. Thomas Jefferson, chairman of the committee, wrote the first draft, and after 2 weeks, the original version was complete. On June 28th, the committee presented the Declaration to Congress. 4 days later, on July 2nd, 1776, Congress voted to declare the United States of America as its own country, independent from Britain. This is America's true Independence Day. 2 days later, July 4th, 1776, Congress ratified the text of the Declaration. This is why we celebrate Independence Day on the 4th of July, as it is the day that the final words were added to the Declaration. On the night of July 4th, the official printer to Congress, John Dunlap, worked through the night to type and print approximately 200 copies of the Declaration. These copies were sent to several committees, assemblies, and commanders in the army, even crossed the Atlantic, reaching England months later. Now, while this version of the document bared the final words, it was not the official copy. The official copy, with its famous font for the phrase, "We the people," took many months to engross or written nicely on parchment. The scene depicting the President of Congress, John Hancock, and all the other delegates signing the Declaration likely happened on August 2nd. John Hancock himself was the first to sign, and his signature is an impressive 5 inches long. By this point, one of the John Dunlap copies of the Declaration had reached King George. Britain's official response scolded the misguided Americans and their extravagant and inadmissible claim of independence. After 8 years of fighting, however, America had won the Revolutionary War. Today, now 248 years later, the Declaration of Independence, the 4th of July, and the 2nd of July stand today as reminders of the bravery, heroism, and courage that it took to create this country, and the blessings from God that it took to make it happen.